Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to the ABC April 2025 collab hosted by me and the amazing Margreth from Sevenplaza. We have had such an amazing response. It's just so cool. I cannot thank you all enough. I am slowly getting my way through. I'm slowly adding to the playlist as well. My phone is going bing, 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 bing. It's just amazing. I absolutely love it. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate it. So today we are on day E. It's Saturday and we're doing day E. Like I said, the only rule that we came up with, because we wanted this to be really laid back and really chilled, so the only rule that we have is that you stick to the day, the letter on that day. So like today is E, so whatever we can do with E. So we also have a prompt list. These are available on my Kofi and Margaret's Kofi, and they're listed in the description box. So E, we have ephemera, embellishment, envelope, entomology, and embossing. I think we can do something with that, including what we did yesterday with distress. It's going to be so much fun. So, ephemera. What is ephemera? What is embellishments? Ephemera and embellishments are things that you use to decorate a page. For example, let me just get a few of my makes that I've got to hand. So these are a few of my makes just here. And there is videos on all these little bits and pieces. So ephemera, 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 ephemera. Embellishment, embellishment. This could be considered as an embellishment. So again, I would consider this as an embellishment. But things like this and this, these are pieces of ephemera. The flower is an embellishment as well. This, I would say, is a piece of, this is an embellishment. So they're kind of different things, but they're kind of not. Like these, the pieces on here are pieces of ephemera, and with the pieces of ephemera you make embellishments. So for example, this page cluster, tab cluster, that if you've been following me for a while, you know I love to make them. We use lots of pieces of ephemera to make an embellishment, which is just so cool. So cool. Same with this, we use pieces of ephemera to make embellishments, and it just is amazing. Lots and lots of pieces of ephemera to make embellishments. And entomology, anything bug related, so your moths, your butterflies, your bugs, anything like that could be considered entomology. So today, like I said, we're going to use, so I have some more pieces here that I consider as ephemera that can be turned into embellishments with some entomology. So I have boo-boo tape, which I would consider an embellishment, not a piece of ephemera, because it embellishes a page. These I would consider pieces of ephemera, and digitals, pieces of ephemera that you can turn into an embellishment. I also like things like when I'm cutting up paper scraps and stuff like that, I keep all my scraps, because this could be turned into either a piece of ephemera if you stamped it, or it could be turned into an embellishment. Die cuts. Die cuts can be used to embellish a page. Stamps. Stamps you can use to create a piece of ephemera or to embellish a page, make an embellishment out of. There's so many different things that you can do to make a piece of ephemera or to make an embellishment. Also, washi tape and cheesecloth, mummy cloth, the same thing. You can also use lace as well, and baker's twine can be used to embellish a page. This is mummy cloth and this is cheesecloth. They are literally the same thing. Basically, cheesecloth you can get off of Amazon in bulk, and washi tapes I love. So washi tapes can be used to make a piece of ephemera, or they can also be used to embellish a page just by running a strip down the side to create a little bit more attraction to the page. And that you can do the same with laces and with baker's twine as well. So there's so many things that you can use to embellish your pages. Paper punches, these can also be used to create a piece of ephemera or an embellishment. This is a few of my paper punches. As you all know, I absolutely love page tabs, so I do tend to have a few. I do have the 2 smaller versions of this as well. And the big Moby Dick, the big whale tail punch, is also by Vassan Creative as well. Then you have your circle punches as well, and your corner rounders. So this one does the ticket, it does a little bumpy, and it does a little knobbly as well. These 2 I use an awful lot. These can be made to make journal cards or labels or anything like that. Again, available on Amazon. And my banner punch, this is Stampin' Up, and I found it on eBay. It came with a stamp set, so yeah, I absolutely love this paper punch. Then you've got a little stamp, so it just cuts the outline of a stamp. It's not very big. And then you've got your square punches and stuff like that. These are all amazing tools for you to make pieces of ephemera. Not needed. If you want to make something like this, I do have a video that shows how you make it without having the punch. And you know, squares are easy to cut. Circles, for me, not so much. I'm better at ovals than I am at circles, but so this is a little collection that I have had over the years. So paper punches, brilliant way to make ephemera and embellishments. We also have hardware as well, and hardware is a perfect way to embellish a page, make an embellishment, or just vavavoom up a piece of ephemera. So in here, we have brads and we have eyelets, paper clips, bulb clips, ball chains, little clips that go round, paper clips, these little key ring clips, bulldog clips, and smaller bulldog clips. They're not bulldog clips, but more eyelets. These are letters, resin letters from Tim Holtz, some bells, some baubles, some stars, and candles and other stuff from his Ideology collection. So these are all perfect as well. So one of the things I like to do, which I mentioned yesterday in yesterday's video, is I like to take a sketch pad or a watercolor pad, and then I just, it's not in that one. Which one is it in? It's in this one over here. I take my stamps and I stamp a whole page of stamps, paint them with oxides, or you can use watercolor paints, you can use distress stains or your ink pads, you can use acrylic paint, gouache paint, you can even use your Kofi as well if that's what you want to do. And I just stamp, and then when I want them, I just cut them out. And I've taken, as you can see, this pad is nowhere near as thick as this pad because I've taken them out, cut them up and used them. So it's just an easy way to store your stamped ephemera. And I love doing that. I do that with quite a few books. I do have a sketchbook that is just literally filled with stamped images that I've just stamped down in black. So for example, I have this little pad here, and when I stopped filming yesterday, I coffee dyed some more sheets. So what you could do with this is, I'm not gonna use my, it doesn't really matter if I use them all. So I'm just gonna take the sheet, and then I'm gonna take some stamps. So I have a sample one here called Snippets of Nature. Take out one of the stamps. and an ink pad. Now, I think this paper is quite porous, so I'm not too sure how well it's going to stamp. And then just perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then what I would do is I would just fill up this page of stamped ephemera, correspondence stamp set by Darkroom Doors. So we could take a couple of these and then just, doesn't matter that it's the wrong way round, because we're just going to cut them out anyway. And then what I would do when I want to use them is I would get my, oh, not that one, that one's a bit big. I would get my paper punch, and then I would just cut it out like that, and I have a piece of ephemera waiting to be embellished. Or you don't even have to use a punch or a pair of scissors. You can literally just also tear it out, which gives it a little bit more character. Like that. So that's one way that I like to make ephemera. I also love to make ephemera with label sheets. So there is different kinds of label sheets that you can get. We have the ones that come on a roll, and they're perfect. I love making sticker clusters out of those. But there's also these ones. Now, these, you get the round ones, which these are. How I make some ephemera out of these label sheets, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun. So firstly, what I'm going to do is, one of the things that I did yesterday is I'm just going to coffee dye, and then we're going to stamp. Right, so I've also put on a little bit of speckled egg as well. Let me just straighten up my camera. And now we're just going to do a collage of stamping. So I've got my Tim Holtz field notes out, and I'm going to stamp in a mixture of Morning Mist and Nocturne. And I'm just gonna randomly stamp all over the piece of paper. I've managed to put my finger in the ink again. And now we're going to get this little one, and just take, it doesn't have to be Tim Holtz stamps, it can be any stamps you like. And I'm not even thinking about where I'm putting it, I'm just stamping. Right, so we've got Moth Study, I have got Entomology, Perfect. And we're going to take some of the bugs, and then we're just going to, would help if I put it on my stamp block properly. Just like that. And then let's get a little one. Just like that. And maybe let's try a bug. And I think that will do. So now what we're going to do, I love this bit. This bit just is so cool. So at the minute, it looks like a mess. I look like a mess. Look, I've got ink everywhere. How do I manage it? This I do not know. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to peel back the corner and leave the round circles down. Just like that. Away, but look at what we have. How amazing are those? And like I said, to start with, they just look like mess. But you get little snippets of each bit on each piece of sticker label, and it just looks I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Perfect pieces of ephemera to embellish your crafts. Right, so now what I'm going to do is, I mean, I carried on yesterday. Look at what I got done yesterday. So much grungy gorgeousness. So we're going to be using some of the bits that we did yesterday, and I pulled out my folder because in here I have some pieces of ephemera that I have made using the coffee dyed paper yesterday. So let me just move those aside just for a second. And again, this is very similar to what we've just done here, apart from it's not stickers. So look at that. I just got all my stamps and I just played. I just stamped some ephemera. And then we have another sheet here. Look at that. How cool is that? Oh, I just love it. I absolutely love doing stuff like this. It's just so chilled, and then you end up with a beautiful piece of art that you can use in your journals anywhere you like. You can make an envelope out of this. You can make back a journal card, back a page with it as well. But then I have these, and these were so much fun too. Oh, I've just got a piece of vintage book paper there, so I'm just going to put that down there. These are vintage invoices, and these were so much fun. Look at those. These were, I do have a video on these. We are going to make some today. These are literally made from coffee paper and my stamps. How real do these look? I mean, look at that. They are just, and pieces of stamped ephemera as well. They're just so cool. And again, more pieces of stamped ephemera that you can use in your journals. Just absolutely stunning. So much fun. So we're going to have a little play. I've got here some of the invoice pages that I coffee dyed. They're the blank ones. I've got a couple at the back of the ones that are filled in. And you can fill these in 100%. We will embellish one that's already got the grid on it. But we're going to make one. We're going to make one with stamps, and then I'm going to show you how to make one without the stamps, because not everybody has got grid stamps. So here are a few of the grid stamps that I've got. This is my stamp. I sell these in my Etsy store. These were my very two first stamp sets. So we've got adventure and we've got grids. And this one's got a grid on it, and these have grids on there too. Perfect for making invoices. I also have a few Heidi swap stamps as well, because Heidi does memory planning, so she has quite a few grid stamps. And then there's this one as well by Elizabeth Craft Designs, which is perfect. So let's do the one first with the grid stamps. Right, so first we're going to use my stamp set. Oh, sorry about the noise. And I'm pretty sure, yep, it does just about fit. Ink it up. I'm not bothered if I've missed places. And then we're just going to put a grid on like that. And this one we're just going to put down here. Like so. So you have your grids. Now you have your grids on there. Plus I do have stamp sets with some lines on. This is my AML stamp set. So you've got those as well. And there's bits in my postcard stamp set that's got some lines on as well. So if you want to, you can use, because that would be the perfect size for these invoice pads. So have a look round for you on your stamps, because you'd be surprised what's on there that you can use that you didn't realise was on there. So I'm just going to take this, and I'm taking this one just here, and I think I'm going to do this one in red. And then I'm just going to kind of put it in the middle, just there. And there's also loads of gap fillers on the stamps as well. So then I'm going to take this Heidi Swap stamp set, because it's got a really cool one down here. I do not know the names of these. All I can say is to go over to Heidi Swap Shop, her website, and just go through, oh, I can't get it out. Go through her stamps, because she's got loads of amazing ones anyway. I've done it again. Inky fingers. Right, I'm going to turn this on the side just because it will be a bit easier. And then that's not on straight. That'll do. And I'm just going to line it up there and then stamp down just like that. And on this stamp set, you've also got those little raggedy edges, so you could stamp all the way down it with that as well. That would look really cool. Now we're going to add the other bits on as well. So let's just... So I've got a few stamp sets I'm going to use here. I've got the Professor 2, On the Farm, Documented, Correspondence, and Victorian. So, oh, also going to use Etc. and Dapper. So Dapper is the one that I'm going to put up there. I'm going to do that in Canty, which is a lovely dark red. So we're just going to put it in the middle. Look at that. It's so cool. And then I'm going to use French Marketplace, and I'm going to use this one just here. And if I remember rightly, it does just fit. And I'm going to do it in the Morning Mist. And I'm literally just going to stamp over everything. Just like that. And then there's another little one here, and I'm going to do this in the red, and I'm just gonna just like that, and then I'm going to get Victorian, and we have a piece here that's got a signature, I believe, and I think that would go perfect there. Now on Etc. we've got this number here, and I don't know where my little block has gone. So again, I'm going to do that in the red, and I'm just going to, and then I've got the seal as well, and I'm just going to stamp that down just there. Oh, look at that. So cool. It's so cool. And now we're going to make it look old. So first off, what I want to do is I'm just eyeballing it. I just want to fold it up just like that and then fold the top over, which is kind of how they used to fold letters in the olden days anyway, and then they put a wax seal on or something like that. So that's perfect. And now we're going to get our favourite inks. So we've got our Scorched Timber, our Ground Espresso and our Vintage Photo. Does anyone else get this mucky when they're stamping, or is it just me? I think it's just me. Right, so I'm going to get a bit of scrap paper and I'm going to take my Vintage Photo and I'm just going round. Be careful because the paper, because it's actual from an invoice book, it's really thin paper. I mean, it doesn't matter if you rip it, I suppose. Right, so now I'm going to go along the folds. Both sides. And we're still using the Vintage Photo. And then you get that just with the Vintage Photo. I mean, how cool is that? But we're not going to stop there. We're going to go a little bit further. So along the creases, I'm going to get my Ground Espresso and my little dauber. And I'm just, pretty similar to what we did on the labels yesterday, I'm just going around the edges. And I'm just doing the corners. And then it gives you, look at that. It's so cool. It's so cool. I love it. And then a little bit on this side. And look at that. How cool is that? Do all the creases and do them all different. Look at that. And then I'm just gonna go round in places as well and do my favorite trick where we make it look a bit burnt. Look at that, it looks burnt. It's just so cool. Just like that. And then when I made these last time, I did not have a sanding tool because Tim Holtz hadn't brought them out yet. Just getting that off my finger. And now we do. So, going to be really gentle and just work it round my finger. And you might be better off because it's so this delicate, putting it down on the paper. And then you get, look at that, little scuff marks. It's just so cool. These are so fun to make, and the possibilities are endless. And then there we are. Look at that old faux distressed piece of ephemera that you can use. You can fold it up this way, and then you can put it in a pocket, and you've got a journaling spot on the back. I know the ink's gone through, but if you backed it on a piece of coffee dyed paper, you've got a secret journaling spot on a really cool piece of ephemera. I just love it. Or you could just use it on a page. And now let's quickly do one without any grid stamps. So for this, all you need, let's put our stamping blocks away for the moment. All you need is a plastic ruler and an ink pad. That's all you need. I think I might use grey for this. So you just dab your ruler in the ink pad. Doesn't have to be perfect because these are vintage. And then just mark a line. Oh, it's got a bit wobbly, but that's fine. Ta-da! Ink your ruler up again. Mark another line. And another line. And then last one. Down the bottom, just like that. And you already have a really cool invoice. So let's take the ink off there. Or you can use a pen, a fine liner pen and a ruler. Just as good, just as good. But I do like it. Look at how gappy it is. I do like how vintage that looks. So now we're going to take this stamp set from Etc. And let's take the Nocturne. Oh, let's turn it around. And then we're just going to stamp that right in there. Look at that. How cool does that look? And then let's get out the French market because we've got another one up here in the Bluebell. And just going to stamp this at the top, just there. And I'm not even bothered that it's wonky. And we'll put this Paris one on, and we'll do that in the blue. Make sure it's the right way up. We'll just stamp that down there. And then we have the Professor Tomb. We've got this Tuesday. And we can just put this under there. And you could do the stamping first so that your lines are okay. but that doesn't bother me. So then I want to use the seal again. So first I've got out documented, and I think that is going to fit down there perfectly. I thought I'd lost it. Right, so this, let's put it round the right way. That would help. I'm going to do this in red. And we're just going to... Do we want to... Yes, we do. Let's just put it in the bottom like that. Look at that. How cool is that? It's so cool! Because we want to say that it is... received. Right, so for this one I'm going to use my texture stamps because they'll look really cool. And I've got my sand dune. And I'm just going around places, not all of it. Look at that. And we've not even put on the vintage photo yet. And if we're going to fold this one up again, just like that. Oh, make sure it's straight. We could get our texture stamp and just go down the crease like that, because when you come to vintage photo it, look how cool it looks. It just looks so cool. Go around the edges. And there, look at that. How cool is that? Such a cool invoice. And we could even go a step further if you wanted to. Let me just put this aside so it rips just like that. And then a bit of ink either side. And guess what I'm going to do? Can you guess what I'm going to do? Da 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 da. Boo-boo tape. Yes, 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 yes. I'm just going to cut that bit in half. Ah, I cut it in half and I dropped the pair of them. Which side did I want? This side. And then we're just gonna, let's put it right to the edge, so we haven't got to cut any off. Just like that. Look at that. Because we didn't have boo-boo tape when I first made these either. I think I did these over a year ago. And then let's just fold it and run the sander down it so it's creased. Oh, look at that. Look at that. What a cool piece of ephemera. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh, so much fun. I thought this would make a good exchange for page tabs. Even I do love my page tabs, and they are embellishments and pieces of ephemera. But I am going to make some cluster sticker labels with some Entomology die cuts. Right, so I have some of the bits out that we did yesterday. We'll just put that there. And these are the sticker labels that I made with Kofi, speckled egg and tea as well. And I also have some of the grungy paper, the just distressed paper, tea bags, the distressed embossing, and some of the raffle tickets as well. We're going to be using all of it today. And we're also going to be using some of the stickers that we just made as well. So first off, I'm going to cut one off. I'm going to leave the rest on there. And then I'm going to get my vintage photo, and I'm going to do this first after I've thrown my ink pad around. And I'm just going to, just like we did yesterday, I'm just going to go around the edge, just so the edge picks up some of the vintage photo. I'm only going lightly. Just like that. And now we're going to decorate. So I have got all my bits of ephemera out so that we can embellish another bit of ephemera. And we're going to do it in Entomology. So these are some of Tracie Fox's digitals that I printed 4 to a page. So we're going to use some of these. And just distress it. Get your glue. And we're also going to use a piece of cheesecloth to embellish too. I don't think we don't need it that long. I'm just going to put some glue down the side, pull it apart. Let's just take that piece off, stick it there. And then I want this hanging off the bottom, so I'm not putting glue all the way down. Just going to put that there. And then have a look through. Sorry, the lid stayed on. Phew. Have a look through our other pieces of ephemera. And we have half a label here, so let's use that. Let's get my tweezers. And we'll just put this over the top, just there. I mean, already it looks so cool. And then let's find, here they are. I need to find them, they're there. Some of my curator snippets that I stamped, or Tim Holtz's curator snippets that I stamped. Now I am going to do this very beige because of the butterfly I'm going to put on. Yep, put that there. Straight would be good. Straight would be good. Maybe we could put on... Nope, it's too big. I like that there. Right, so let's put this one down. We'll put this one just there. Oh, lift it up a minute. Want it down a bit. That's it, just there. And now we have some Entomology. And these are digitals from House Whimsy. And the kit is called Moths 1 and 2. So let's have a look. I want quite a colourful one because we've gone very beige. Haha. Like that. Look at that. So cool. So cool. I'm just going to ink round it. And I did print these off on clear vinyl sticker paper as well. And I love it. And we're just going to stick that down there. Bring the leaves up, the wings, just like that. And then you've got a beautiful sticker cluster that you can put in your stash, ready for when you want to use it. I love it. Absolutely love it. Now, Entomology. Well, there's only one thing. Well, there's not only one thing. There's many things. But if we're doing Entomology, how could I not do a specimen slide? Right, so I'm just going to do an easy one, a real easy peasy one. So I've got 2 of the flashcards. That rounded corner is annoying me because it's not completely round. That's better. I've got 2 of the flashcards that I used in my live, and I also grunged some up yesterday as well. I've got 2 of them. So now I'm not going to do the normal. Let's just check. Perfect. Yep, perfect. I'm going to use this circle punch. And I'm going to punch them both at the same time, making sure that it's equal, and then da-da. Perfect. Now I'm going to take my little square punch that I got off of Amazon. And it's perfect. It's only a few quid. And again, we're going to cut them both. So I'm just going to take... Oh, that out there. That out there. Do the bottom as well, and we have a specimen card. We're going to do more to it. We're going to do more to it. So I think we're going to use, let's see if we've got any, because I'm not bothered at all that the moth will be covered. I might even put it on the outside yet, because I do like to do that. But I'm sure there's one in here. See, that one would fit perfect. In fact, yeah, I'm going to put it on the outside. Now, you don't have to. You can put it on the inside if you like. But I want to put it on the outside. I just like that effect. So I've got some of this in... I I can't remember what video it was in. Might have been in one of my Mass Make March videos. And I did some alcohol ink with some alcohol ink lift as well. So I'm going to use that. And I'm just, it's a shame that I can't get in, but the lovely bit is round the edge. But I do want that bit in there. So I'm just going to work out where to cut, just like that. Because this bit doesn't need to be even, because it's going to be hidden. Let's put that up there. And then I'm going to get the glue. First, before I do this, I'm going to ink around the inside. Oh. And let's do the other side. I think I might have this bit on the back, on the front. But before I do that, I'm going to stick some of these over. What one do I want? Let's have this one. And I just want to and I'm going to fold it over like that. And then this side, I'm just gonna, I'm not going right to the edge, but I'm just kind of fanning it like that, so that then, and then I want to put another one down here as well. Let's do this one. I'm just gonna fold that over. Just like that. Let's cut that bit off because it's going to annoy me. Okay. And now I'm just going to put some glue. I'm not going to put enough glue around the edge so that it's going to seep out onto the acetate. And then lay this down. Just like that. And that's fine. You can cut this little teeny weeny bit off that's showing. Just like that. And then I'm gonna, you could have it as a pocket. I'm not gonna though. And this will just make it a little bit sturdier and look really cool if you did it. If you put the moth on the inside, but we're not, so. And now I'm just gonna grunge it up all around the edge. and I want to bring it in a bit further. So like we did yesterday, I'm just going around it like that. This just looks so cool. And then let's go over with the ground espresso. Bring it in a bit. And then, of course, sand a little bit off. And then I want to put a bit of washi tape on, because washi tape is a great embellishment. So I think I'm going to use Heidi Swapp's just put this, maybe this one, no. I think I'm going to bring it down the side like that and sand it off. I don't think that bit will sand off because it's too flimsy, so we'll just snip it off. Give it a bit of a sand, just like that, and then have a look in our ephemera tubs. I like that. On. Oh, I did it again. I'm so messy, but I do want to let's get a bit of cheesecloth. Separate it a little bit. Glue this down. And then let's distress these. Using all the distressing techniques that we used yesterday. Put this hanging over the edge. Oh. Glue this one down. Look at that, it looks so cool. And then we've not finished yet. We need to put in our fillers. It's like all of a sudden you pick one up and it's just like, bam, that one. Right, so let's just put a little bit of ink around it. And again, I'm just going to put a little bit down the middle and on the antennas. And that's going to be the only bit I stick down. Now, if you don't want to put them on the outside, you don't have to. You can put them on the inside. Literally, you do you. So I'm just going to take my tweezers. Let me do it this way. And I'm just going to roll. And then this one, just a little roll, and then do the same down here, just roll it, just so it's got like a little bit of movement, and then just roll the leaf like that. Well, not the leaf, the wing. How cool is that? But we're not going to finish there, so we're going to take some little bits of ephemera. I didn't grab it properly. And then we're just going to put this one up here. And I think we'll put this one here, or maybe here. Who saw Margaret's correspondence? Oh, so cool. It was so cool. I watched it today because even though this is day D, I'm a day ahead. I'm filming ahead. It was amazing. I love that she's going to step out of her comfort zone and start putting things on at an angle. I love that. We could put on a label and cut a bit of it off. Or is that too much? It's like, Toni, it's you. It's never too much. This is true. No, it's too much. I can't believe I'm saying that. We don't need another one of those. Yeah, I think we'll put that there. Just like that. How cool is that? We do need something down here though, because it looks very bare. Maybe a stamp. Maybe we should do a stamp. Shall we do a stamp? Handle with care. Just jumped out at me. Perfect. Perfect. I do, however, think it needs. Oh, how many of you are sitting there saying, Toni, stop? No, I can't. I didn't want to put it there. I wanted to put it somewhere else. That taught me a lesson. But I forgot I had that there. But now we're going to get our crocodile. And we're going to punch a hole there. Get an eyelet. I keep doing that. And there we have, ta-da! And there we have. We're not doing D. Tone, what's up with you? How many of you were sitting there saying, we're doing D? We're not doing D, we're doing E. But I did D as well, so it kind of counts. So we have some really cool pieces of ephemera to embellish our journals made with Entomology. But we're not going to stop there, because some of the labels that we made yesterday, let me just put these somewhere safe. I want to decorate a couple of them, embellish them, if you will. So I'm going to take, we've got a piece. Don't you love it when that happens? I'm just going to put a bit on there, like that. And then I'm going to take my little banner punch and the piece of embossed ephemera, or distressed. We distressed it yesterday, didn't we? And I'm just gonna cut a bit out. Glue it down. Just like that. And get our ephemera back. And let's see what we've got. Oh, we could have used that. We still can. Nope, I'll use that on another one. That needs to go back in with my dangles. Right, so these are some of the stamped ephemera that I made in Mass Make March. And we're just gonna stick that down there, just hanging over, because I want to keep that bit of boo-boo tape. glue this down. Just there. And then we don't need another. We're going to have to use the butcher at some point, aren't we? How long have I been wanting to use the butcher? Put that there. And then I'm going to get my little tray of die cuts, and use them as embellishments on my piece of ephemera. And we've got a little cool cluster. Things like this that you can use in your projects. It's just so cool. Perfect piece of ephemera. So let's make a couple more because they're so easy to make. So let's just distress this one up a bit more. Perfect. Right, so this time I am going to use a piece of this. So I'm going to cut that end off, and I just want that on there, but I want it to stand out, so I'm just darkening up the edges because they're very similar colours. And then that, see, automatically makes it stand out. So let's glue. Oh, should we put a bit of cheesecloth on top? What are you thinking? Put that just on the top there. And I want to keep that crease in. Of course you do. Is that why you glued the wrong bit? Useless. I just want this hanging off the bottom just like that. Pulling those bits out. Put a bit of glue down there, but I'm going to squish it in like that so that you can still see the ripped edge. And then we could use, yes, let's use that. Nope, need a bit more glue on there. And then a bit of glue in the middle. And one of the tricks of doing these when you're embellishing your clusters with ephemera is, well, what I like to do anyway, is I like my angles. So I wouldn't put this banner flush up with this angle, and the same with this angle. I would always have them kind of offset, if you like. I don't know why. I wish I did, but that's just how I like to do it. So I don't know if that's going to help any of you making clusters, that you just, if you offset them a little bit. Just put this down here. And on this one, we could use, because it's quite big. See, I like this one, but some of them I cut the antennas off and some of them I don't. Have I used this one? No. Cool, cool. We'll use that one. And I'm going to use my favourite stamp off of my airmail set, because it's the perfect, I call these filler ephemeras. They fill gaps. Nope. Yes, but then we need something down here. So let me ink up Mr. Moth. Oh. And then again, I'm just going to glue down the body and the antenna. I want to lift that up a little bit higher. Stick those down. And then bend up the body. But we need a little something here. Maybe, but I think it's the antique linen colour that's putting me off. Or maybe a label. No, that one's too big. Quite like that. I want a little bit hanging over the edge, and again I'm watching my angles, so I don't want it to come in flush, so I'm just moving it up a little bit. I'm going to put it under the moth. Make sure it's on straight tone. That might be good. And then there we have another one. How cool is that? So I was going to carry on. I was going to say goodbye and go through what we'd made. But I'm just having so much fun. I just love doing this. I really do. Just playing and creating bits and pieces, and it's just so much fun. So I thought, instead of packing away, do you know what, I'm going to put that on top of that. Instead of packing away and saying goodbye with a clean table, I thought I'd do something different. So first off, we are going to go through what we made. We have got some gorgeous, stunning bits of ephemera that we made with lots of embellishments. And don't worry if you haven't got the same stuff as me. Anything. You can make ephemera out of anything. Stickers, rub-ons, anything. Any bits of ephemera that you've got. Stamps, papers, anything is ephemera if you can make something out of it. That is what is so great. So great. Like labels, office stuff, labels. And these were two. This was the circle that I took out of the specimen card. Look at that. A little circle cluster to do with entomology. And then I made an entomology page tab. Look at that. How cool is that? So literally, I mean, making ephemera is my favourite thing to do anyway, but just create. Have fun. Create. And make loads of stuff. And you will just have so much fun. So much fun. It really is the best part of junk journaling. Even I was watching Margreth's video when she was showing off all her correspondence, and she did expensive and she did cheap. And I was watching it and I looked at it and she had this pamphlet and I was, wow, I have literally just been inspired by Margreth's video. My brain was just going, and I was thinking of all these things. And that's what is amazing about this challenge. Absolutely amazing about this challenge is it's spiking our imagination and pushing us to go further and to make things and create things. And I just absolutely love it. So I'm going to carry on creating, but I'm going to say goodbye. I'm pretty sure that I'm up Monday. What letter is it that I am doing on Monday? Am I up Monday? Nope, I'm up Tuesday. Margreth's up Monday and she's doing F. So exciting times. You got tomorrow off. You can, well, carry on creating if that's what you want to do. Because why not? Why not? It's just the best kind of weekend thing to do. I love that. I just love that. So thank you everybody for being here. Don't forget to check out the hashtag and everyone else's amazing creations. Thank you all so much for everybody that's joining. Just absolutely amazing. I am loving seeing creations. We are working our way through everybody, but please bear with us because wow, there's so many to go through, and yeah, it's going to take us some time, but we'll do it. We'll do it. It's going to be brilliant. How amazing is that? Just out of a piece that you would probably throw away. Just, where's the other one? Just two gorgeous little circle clusters. So again, I'm going to carry on. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the bell so you get notified every time I upload the video. If you want to tag me in your socials, because you know I love to see your work, all my socials are in the description box or they're at the end of the video. My Amazon links, my Kofi links and all the digitals that I use are also in the description box. And I will see you all in my next video. Happy crafting everybody and take care. Bye.